My name is Rohan Laird. I'm with a company called Tebe Health. We're in the health industry, as the name would indicate. My partner school is MC Weiler. And unfortunately, I don't have a good story to tell today. I debated whether or not I should come and present, but decided actually ultimately that sharing my lessons would probably help other people along the road. So if we actually look at what happened at the school, MC Weiler has a number of major challenges that it faces. I don't think these are unlike the other schools that the rest of you guys work in or have been partnering with. But it's understaffed. The MC Weiler school specifically deals also with special needs learners. And unfortunately, the teachers are not equipped for this task. Which creates a massive challenge, as you can imagine. There's a large vulnerable intake from informal settlements. It's situated on wetlands in Alexander, and therefore there's a lot of water leakage on the playgrounds. There's no space for children to play, really. The school has gone through some governance issues, and the principal had recently, when we started the process, had recently returned from a 2-year suspension. And I think that did create some of the challenges that I faced. The school is under financial management, and there's a climate of fear between the teachers and the principal. There's a lot of positives, though. Quite frankly, the school is clean. It's got really solid school buildings. We do a lot of CSI initiatives as a business, and I can tell you a lot of the schools we work with in places like Secunda, etc., are in you can't compare the levels of deprivation between here and MC Weiler. So the school itself is actually not in bad shape. It has very nice library facility. It has a tremendous number of good sponsors. In fact, Flyke, the principal, there's nothing I can teach her about raising funds. I mean, she really is extremely good at that. They've had a number of funds ranging from Colgate to, I think it was the Swedish government who donated a whole container load of musical instruments, etc. So certainly in that respect, the school has done very well. And there's a number of, I suppose, as at all schools, there's a number of enthusiastic teachers. So the process we followed is when we kicked off, we actually started off pretty well. We had 2 strategy sessions conducted on a Saturday and attended by all the senior teachers as well as the SGB representatives. There was a wonderful turnout. During that process, a detailed strategy was developed, including vision, values, pillars of success, and key actions. These, by the way, in good flawless consulting ways, was done effectively by the teachers and the governing body. We just simply asked questions. The goals were set by the school. From that, 5 areas of focus were identified, and a project plan and project team was developed for each. From my side, on our business side, I allocated staff of volunteers from our organization to work with these project teams. So from HR, IT, marketing, and finance. And then we scheduled monthly feedback sessions to make sure that there was a process that would move ahead. This very briefly is the structure that they created, with the roof being the vision, their values being the foundation of the school, and then these pillars of the key areas that they needed to focus on that held up the roof. So there was I think a very, very good buy-in. And I was speaking to someone earlier, and I said, you know, if we had this discussion the end of the first year, I would have actually said things are going pretty well, because we had all the building blocks in place. I was one of those who felt at the time that it was premature to celebrate anything, because we hadn't really achieved anything. But we were on the right track. And in terms of progress, there has been a lot of areas where progress has been made. We managed to resolve the connectivity problems at the school. We assisted the teachers in establishing a Facebook page. and we trained and empowered the teachers to actually run the Facebook page. We put in place draft HR policies, which we submitted to the school for then, in turn, should have been submitted to their governing body. We conducted training on personal skills and development for the front office staff, PA skills essentially. And we allocated from our wellness business a counsellor to work with the teachers to assist them or equip them as best we could in dealing with specifically the special needs learners. But ultimately, I can't say that we have succeeded. In the area of finance, we were requested by the finance project team to assist them in putting together policies and procedures and processes to control financial expenditure. Unfortunately, there seemed to be a divide between the teachers and the principal as far as this was concerned. We were not able to get the required information, and there was really lack of participation outside of my monthly feedback sessions. HR policies, similar process. No feedback, process simply died. HR training on HR issues, we identified teacher training. There was a number of IR issues and things around that. Specifically, there were labor challenges between the teachers and the maintenance workers in terms of differing conditions of employment, etc. So we thought we would do some training on IR, etc. But we had no participation on that. Fundraising, as I said, very good, but no budget. So the money comes in and whatever. And then counselling, as I said, we have, our counsellor goes there on a weekly basis. She's a very enthusiastic young lady. And she says, she can sit there for the afternoon and no one comes to see her. There's just no giving back in this process. So, I think I reached the decision, and I had some real soul searching to do, because I thought we were warned at the outset not to expect great differences, etc. But I also think that we as a country need to not accept these excuses. I really believe that. I understand that there's a lack of skills, that people perhaps haven't been properly equipped to deal with these challenges. But certainly I would not tolerate within my business the need to train staff who don't want to be trained, to empower people who don't want to be empowered. And so I believe in this program, and I've said to Heidi, I'm prepared to work with another school. But I think I would be, from my side and the lessons learned, the selection of the school is critical. I think there were some structural issues, as I identified earlier, that perhaps mitigated against the school being successful. You've also got to clarify the expectations of the schools, because I understand from talking to a few of the others, I think from the department's perspective, the expectations for this program have perhaps not been properly communicated. The principal must really want to participate in the process. And then I think my lesson is certainly I would agree on key milestones, and I would want to cut my losses early. I think just from my own organization's point of view, it's not just about me. I've had staff who've committed to this process who are feeling quite down because they don't feel they've made any difference to this process. And the issue doesn't sit with them. The issue sits with the school. So that's unfortunately my story.